Good afternoon to you and a very happy Friday to you all. How are you doing? How has your week been? Grey and gloomy, as you might expect here in East London on this November day. How is it where you are? We always talk about the weather, right? But I'm British, I can't help myself. How is it where you are? How is your November going so far? I hope that you are well and happy and in good form. How is your family doing? How is your business? How is your team? Do give me a wave so that I can see you. Thank you so much for joining. Really great to see you. Do say hello and give me a wave so that I know that you're there. How are we all doing? Do let me know. So we're into the end of the first week of our second lockdown here in the UK. We're going to have 4 weeks in total. Are you in lockdown wherever you are? I know that different countries are kind of handling this a little bit in different ways, but certainly for those of us that are going into winter, it's a lot of us are experiencing lockdown. So how are you doing? How are you feeling about it? I asked you last week, are you going to comply this time, or are you feeling a bit more restless? I've noticed quite a lot of people. There's a bit of a difference in mood this time. So tell me how you're feeling about it all. How's your team doing? Did you feel more prepared this time from a business perspective, from a kind of a mental health perspective, from an organisation perspective? Has it felt different going into lockdown this time if you are here in the UK? It definitely feels different to me. Maybe it's because it's dark. You know, the last one, it was beautiful. We had such glorious weather. So maybe that's just me, but it definitely feels like there's a different atmosphere. It definitely feels quite gloomy at this time of year, but I always find this time of year a little bit difficult. So maybe it's just me. Do tell me how are things where you are. What have you been working on this week? Has it been a good one? Do let me know. Give me a wave. Say hello. A number of people joining now, so welcome to you. So this week my focus has been on the Royal Academy of Engineers. So I've been shortlisted by them. They put out a tender recently that I responded to, and I've been shortlisted to continue to deliver the people and culture modules that I've been delivering for them this year. I've been shortlisted to continue potentially those modules for the next 3 years, which is very exciting, and it's something that I'm very keen to keep working with them. They're a great organisation. I really enjoy working with all of their entrepreneurs and their teams. So this morning actually I did a presentation. I answered their questions, and I should hear next week, so fingers crossed I will let you know. So tell me what you've been working on this week. Has it been a good one? Do let me know. Last week we talked about planning, and I know that's something that is kind of close to many of your hearts, or maybe not so much, but certainly something that you're having to focus on. I get a lot of questions about planning, so if you haven't had a chance yet to listen to that Zoom to that live Zoom, it's because I've been on Zoom calls this morning. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that live, do let me know, and do check out the live in the group. All of the lives are recorded. And so you can find any of the previous lives. So last week's planning, I shared with you some thoughts about having a planning mindset, how to make your plan, and also the 6 things that need to go into your plan. So do check that one out if you haven't done so already, if you haven't had a chance to listen to it. So as you know, I tend to take my cues from you and your questions as to what would be helpful for me to cover during these lives. So sometimes, of course, I'll read about something or reflect on a past experience and take those learnings to share with you. And often I'm sharing things from my book, or those things that I work with my clients on. So But many of the times, many of these lives are really generated by questions and comments that come from you. So I get a lot of requests, and I get a lot of messages, and I get a lot of questions, and obviously I also have conversations with you. So tell me, where are you stuck? What questions do you have? What challenges are you facing in building your business? I'm all about helping you build a business that works for you, that really works for you as the business owner. So what are you stuck on? What really, what questions do you have, or what would it be helpful for me to cover in future challenges? So MJ has joined us. Morning, MJ. Afternoon, I should say. Nice to hear from you. Nice to see you. MJ says, well done, keeping fingers crossed from you too. Thank you so much. I've got everything crossed. It's a great opportunity to continue working with a great organisation. So I will keep you posted. Well, I should know by next Friday, so I'll keep you updated then. Okay, so today is all about focus. How do we avoid all those frustrations and those distractions? How do we keep our mind focused, and how do we keep our eyes on the prize? How do we keep our levels of clarity and confidence where they need to be? So focus and flow are very definitely at the heart of everything that I do, as you well know. And so today I'm going to share with you 10 top tips, 10 things that you can do to get your head in the game and keep your head in the game. Let's focus on what we want and definitely what we can control. So let's get into this. If you're joining, do give me a wave, say hello, nice to see you all. Quite a few people joining us now. So I'm going to share with you my 10 top tips on focus. So tip 1 is definitely to prioritise your mental and physical health. It is not selfish to focus on yourself. Self-care is not selfish. If you're not okay, then how can you possibly look after your family, your community, your business, your team? So definitely my top tip is to prioritise your mental and physical health, and that in itself will help you be more focused. For example, I have a recurring daily calendar appointment in my calendar that is just called health. And as I'm organising my calendar and as I'm looking at my week and my day, I'm asking myself, what am I going to do for my mental and physical health on that particular day? What time do I want that to be? So every day it's something different, and for you it might be different things. So you don't need to be out pounding the pavements like I do if that's not your thing. It could be yoga, it could be going for a walk, getting yourself outside, it could be some meditation, but definitely doing something, doing some dancing around to some music. We've got a treadmill hill, so getting on the treadmill if you've got one at home. Do something for your physical body, move your body every day, and think about your mental health every day as well. And that leads me on to tip 2, which is what I call non-negotiables. So what are those things that need to be in your day every day? You know, those things that maybe where you say, oh, I should drink more water, I should exercise more, I should get to bed earlier, I should. Now you know me well enough now that you know should is one of those words that we do not use. So your non-negotiables are those things that you proactively decide are going to be in your day every day. And by that, I mean whether you're having a good day or a bad day, whether or not you're on holiday. Do we even have holidays anymore? You know what I mean. Whatever is happening in your life, those non-negotiables are those things that happen every day that you prioritise and you make sure that they happen. And it's important that you don't have too many of those, so you don't set yourself up for failure. So I would advise, maybe 3 or 4. So for example, what time are you going to finish work? Decide what time you are going to finish work. What time are you going to go to bed? What are you going to eat? Do you want to drink? How much water do you want to drink? Having fun, maybe you say to yourself, every day I want to have something that makes me laugh, or every day I want to go outside. What are those real non-negotiables for you that you are prepared to commit to yourself, that every day you will include them in your life, whatever is going on? And of course they can absolutely and probably should include your mental and physical health. That's what I would recommend. So my tip 3 is, in terms of keeping you focused, one of the things that really helps me stay focused is having daily and weekly routines. So at the start of every day, I like to have a quick look at what have I got on my plate today, what have I got in my calendar, what calls do I have, what activities do I have, what are the things that I want to get achieved today, what am I doing for my health today. And then at the end of every day, I like to just take a few minutes to go, what have I achieved today? Wrapping up, am I organised? What does my calendar look like for tomorrow? What's on my to-do list? I just like to end the day feeling organised and in control. And those two things, the bookends of my day, if you like, really, really do help me feel focused and stay focused on what I'm trying to achieve. Weekly, also very important. You've heard me speak about this before. Review your notes, review your calendar, look back, look ahead, review your lists to keep you feeling in control. You've heard me talk a lot about systems to keep you organised, and reviewing is a very, very important part of that. So those daily and weekly routines are really super important. I can't emphasise that enough. So if you don't already have those, or they could do with a refresher, it will definitely help you feel more focused, I promise you. Tip number 4, do the first thing first. So what do I mean by that? Some of you may be familiar with the great book Eat That Frog, and what he is trying to say in that book is do that most important thing first thing in the morning. Maybe that thing that you've been putting off, that thing that you don't want to do, but you really do want to do, but you don't want to do, you keep putting it off. So do the most important things first in the morning when you're fresh, when you get up and you've hopefully got lots of energy, before you get tired, before you drain your energy, before you maybe run out of decision capacity. Do those most important things first whilst you still have energy. You never know what is going to come at you during the day, so get those things done first thing in the morning. That is my tip number 4. Tip number 5, very important, have a system to get and keep your head clear. Now again, I've spoken about this before, and if you want to find out more about that, go back and watch my video on getting things out of your head. You can search for that in this group. It was, I think, a couple of months ago. I think it was sometime maybe late August. So have a search for getting things out of your head, and definitely watch that video, which talks about my focus formula. So this is the formula that I use for myself and also with my clients to have a system to get and keep your head clear. This is super important. I've spoken before about these decision loops. Every time you decide that you might possibly one day want to maybe possibly do something, it opens a loop in your head, and that is what makes us so tired. That is what makes us feel stretched and spread too thin and overwhelmed. So the key thing is to have a system to get all of those things out of your head. Find a way to capture them all. I don't care if it's on pieces of paper. I don't care if it's a notebook. I don't care if it's an online system like the one that I use, which is Trello. There are also many others like that. Whatever works for you, but you must have a system to get and keep things out of your head. As I say, if you haven't watched my Getting Things Out of Your Head live, I would definitely recommend it, and check out my focus formula. Tip number 6, understand what puts you in flow. This is really at the heart of everything that I do. What puts you in your flow? What gives you energy and what drains your energy? Check out the contribution compass link in this group. Trust me when I say it will completely change your life and change the way that you see yourself and the way that you see your business. Tip number 7, control the controllables. There are so many things that we can't control, especially at the moment. We can't control the virus. We can't control what the government does. We can't control what other people do. We can't control whether people follow the rules or not. So that can leave us feeling very frustrated, very overwhelmed, and very distracted. So in order to keep yourself focused, focus on what you can control. There are things that you can control. You can control the decisions that you make, the choices that you make, the actions that you take. There are things that you can control, and by focusing on them, you will feel much more in control and much more centered and much more focused. Tip number 8, now this is a good one, and this is one that you might go, this does this really work? I promise you this really works. Separate out the deciding from the doing. So what I mean is, if you're putting something in your calendar, for example, or if you're making a note of something that you want to do, either in your notebook or on your online, using your online tool, whatever system you use to capture things you want to do, add in the steps. Just take a couple of minutes to think about, what's the first step? Like, what do I need to do? So for example, if you're creating a video for social media, you might just make a few notes that are like, shoot some footage, choose which bits you want to use, choose the music stills, etc., edit, blah, 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 yeah? Post it on social media. It'll take you like a minute or two, and maybe you think, what is the point in doing that? Now let me share something really profound with you. What happens if you just put create video on your to-do list? Every time your brain sees that, it's like, what do I need to do? Like, you're having to figure out what the steps are every single time, and that is exhausting. When you come to do it, you will spend the first few minutes going, trying to figure out what it is that you need to do. And maybe that will make you not do it. Yeah, and I haven't quite worked out why this works, but I promise that it does. If you, on the Monday, spend a bit of time going, these are the steps for something you want to do on a Thursday. On the Thursday, when you come to do it, you don't have to make a decision, because you already know, you've already got the steps there, and then you can just do it. Separate out the deciding from the doing. If you don't believe me, please just try it. I promise you, it is absolutely revolutionary. Rather than writing Sarah on your list, write email Sarah about this, contact Sarah, call Sarah about this, yeah? Get in touch with, ask Sarah this question. I know it sounds silly, and I know if you have Sarah on your list, you probably think that you know, and you do know, but your brain is having to work every time they see Sarah on your list. They're having to go, which Sarah? Oh yes, I need to talk to her about that. Just give your brain a break. Separate the doing from the deciding. That is my tip number 8, and that is a good one. And so is tip number 9, ask for help. Now this is one, I'm not going to lie, that I have had to work on a lot over the years, and I still don't find it very easy, but I know how important it is, and it's something that I help many of my clients with. Don't do everything yourself. When you get stuck, ask who, not how. Instead of trying to figure out how to do everything, who do you know that can help you? Who do you know that you can ask to work with you? Maybe work in your team, maybe do some part-time work. Who's got the answer that you need? When you get stuck, ask who rather than how. Don't do everything yourself. Do not be afraid to ask for help. It is so important to have a good support network around us to help us stay focused. You need to be in your flow, doing the things where you are adding the most value to your business, not doing the things that drain your energy and put you outside of your flow. So ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't have a business coach, get yourself a business coach. Whether it's me or somebody else, get yourself somebody to work with you on helping you stay focused and achieve what you want to achieve. And my tip number 10, practice daily gratitude. There has been a lot that has been written about the importance of gratitude, and I myself have really learned over the years just how powerful this can be. Just a very short amount of time to be grateful for all the things that we have, for all the things that have happened and all the things that will happen. Asking yourself, particularly when you have a bad day, but every day, what am I grateful for? There are so many things for all of us to be grateful. I know it's been a tough year for many of you. Some of your businesses are thriving, but some of you are struggling. I know that. I speak to many of you every day. But there are still things that we can be grateful for. We can be grateful for our health if we have it. We can be grateful for our friends and family. We can be grateful for our business. We can be grateful for the things that we still can do. We can be grateful for technology. There are so many things that we can be grateful for, the choices that we make and the impact that we can have on other people's lives when we solve problems and when we serve them. It really is a most wonderful way to keep you focused and on track. And if you don't have a daily gratitude practice, try it for a week and let me know how you get on. So they are my 10 tips for keeping you focused, eyes on the prize, in your lane. Prioritize your mental and physical health. Decide on what your non-negotiables are. Have daily and weekly routines. Do the first thing first every day. Have a system to get and keep your head clear. Understand what puts you in flow. Control the controllables. Separate deciding from doing. Ask for help and practice daily gratitude. So they are my thoughts on how to stay focused, how you can stay focused. Pick 3 of those and to start with, and then add the other ones in. Tell me what your thoughts are. How do you feel about things at the moment? How do you keep yourself focused? And what stops you? What distracts you? What pulls you away from staying in your flow and being focused? Do let me know. Do let me know any questions or comments that you might have. I'm going to close today's live, as I always do, with 2 quotes about focus. The first quote is from the legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. And what he had to say on this subject is, the successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. I've said before, and I remind myself, it's not necessarily the most talented and the most flamboyant and the most charismatic and the kind of the best people that are successful. It's the people that are really consistent. It's about showing up every single day and serving your communities and running your business and staying in your lane and being focused consistently, day in, day out. And it's about being kind to yourself. If you fall down, if you have a bad day, it happens to all of us. Pick yourself up. Tomorrow is another day. And my second quote is from Steve Jobs, who is, of course, the co-founder of Apple. And what he has to say is that focusing is about saying no, which I think is very interesting. And I'd like to invite you to think about, what are you saying no to? What do you not need in your life anymore? What could you clear out to make way for the new realities that you are creating for yourself, for your family, for your community? As this year draws to a close, now is the time that we lay the groundwork, the foundations for those new possibilities that are ahead of us. And to do that, we do need to say no to the things or the people that are no longer serving us. So listen to yourself and ask yourself, what do you need so that you can spend more time in your flow? If you haven't already taken the Contribution Compass test to find out what puts you in your flow, then absolutely I would advise you to check out the pinned post at the top of this group. If you've already taken the Talent Dynamics test with me and you'd like an upgrade, which I would highly recommend, I'd like to offer that to you for free. Absolutely no money whatsoever. Just get in touch with me and I will send you your personalised link so that you can upgrade the test that you've already taken. Ask yourself this question: what would a business that really works for me look like? Let me know your thoughts and your questions on this or any other topic relating to how to grow a business that works for you. What area of business would you like me to speak about next? If you haven't already got your free copy of my book, The Real Entrepreneur, then do check out therealentrepreneur.book.com. If you prefer an Audible or Kindle version, you will find those on Amazon. I do hope that you have a really lovely weekend, whatever you're doing and whoever you're doing it with. I do wish you a very happy and peaceful time. And as always, if you want to talk, then you know where I am. Please remember to be where you are in the journey. You don't need to know it all and you don't have to do it all. Take care, stay safe, and do keep in touch. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.